Hello, very good evening. I am so excited about the launch of the Stamps Away Countryside Project Collection. It's a huge bundle and we're going to have Ally Reeve in a moment with us. She's going to be demonstrating live via Skype, so very excited about that. But I just want to show you, in the whole bundle you are getting 8 MDF kits. Plus this gorgeous DVD which explains and takes you through step by step all the projects using the kits in the collection. So you are getting the, we'll take you through them all. There's windows, the tree stump, the basket, the bird cage, there's just loads. And my favourite, there's this beautiful little garden bench which has been adorned with a very exotic brolly there, which I'll show you more of in a moment. And you're saving £40 to get the MDF kits with your project inspiration DVD. It's also available to get individually, and you can get these on 2 flexi-buy payments of £24.96. But the saving is on getting all of them. So if you really want something to get your teeth into, and let's face it, we've got the time, then this is it. 2 flexi-buy payments of £24.96, a brand new launch for the Stamps Away set. So I'm going to pop down the DVD, pop down this gorgeous, because I've got a little secret edition to show you there on the bench, which was, you know, it's just my favourite, that one. I know you're not supposed to, but I just love it. Let me take you through them all. They're all available individually, which I'll have at the bottom of the screen there. £9.99 each. That's them all individually, so you can top that up, and you're talking £79.92, £79.92, aren't you? £9.99 per project. So you can see that saving by getting them all is huge. It's 50% off, isn't it? Basically, £40 saving roughly, or thereabouts. So let's take you through them all individually so you know. So this first one is the bird cage. So here we have it in the raw, well, that's all done up beautifully, painted. You've got the butterfly adorned there in card and paper. So pretty, and that's what Ally's done. She's just created these beautiful butterflies cut out of, I don't know if you can see on the reverse there, books. Don't know if I can show you that on the reverse. Can you see that? Yeah, they've kind of on the back of the butterflies there. Yeah, you can see it's script, and she's layered them up there beautifully, and it dangles. It's got that dangle factor, so it comes flat pack, beautifully cut out in the MDF there. So you get those 2 pieces there. You get your instructions so you can assemble it. Very self-explanatory, perfectly cut. And yeah, so that'll get you started for £9.99 at the bottom of the screen. 470-710, that's for the bird cage. 766256 is the whole collection. Yeah, beautiful. Now I'm going to move up to the lovely door. Is it called the doorway? The cottage. The cottage. As you can see, I had one there. These two look very, very different. Let me just put them slightly so you can see the different ways you can go. So, so pretty, aren't they? So we've got one sort of, the bronze, very pretty there, with your gilt wax there. And then we've got one, this one looks sort of more weathered, doesn't it? And again, you've got the gates at the side, you've got your porch, you've got I love the way the tiles have been created. You've got your chimney pot. There's been some lovely papers put over this. That's like the wood and the vines growing over it. Isn't that lovely? Beautiful ideas there. So again, you get all the flat pack pieces, perfectly cut. This is it in the raw, you know, unfinished. You even get the shutters there on the front of the window. And again, the inspiration of how it is assembled at the end there all ties into place. £9.99 for individually, 108204. But it's all part of the one-day special, the whole collection, because you also get that DVD. My next one is my absolute favourite. I'm just really taken with the picnic table, because we've got a picnic table in the garden, but it comes with its umbrella, so you could have such fun with attaching. This is like a card that's already been perforated and contoured, as it were. It reminds me of like large lollipop sticks, but of course it isn't. And it's just beautiful. You could actually make it would make a lovely centerpiece, wouldn't it? On your actual table, whether it's in the garden, you have some lovely pims or a party. But look what Ally's done, or that Ally and the team have done. So here, she's got this wonderful garland. I've often seen these jewel fringes and thought, I don't know what to do with those. They're like what you had on your sofa. Again, I'm back to the 70s again. But look what she's done. She's got some lovely papers there on the front. And then we turn this on. You ready, everybody? Just a little battery-operated sparkle light. Isn't that gorgeous? It's so pretty. So if you think evening's coming, you've actually got this outside and your garden furniture, or inside. I mean, for a party piece, I just think it's idyllic. That's so, so pretty and so different. This is what I love about the Stamps Away Countryside project. I just think it's a little bit different. So beautiful. Just painted white there. So you get everything in there. Your stick, obviously, your bench to make it up. And like we said, the contoured card there, all ready for the top of the project, and of course your inspirational the pitch instructions there. Beautiful. All part of the one day special, but individually 102861999. It'll be interesting to see which is your favourite as the night goes on, actually. Lots of you going for all of them, and that's the way to go. Okay, now we've got our window box. Yes, let's have a little window box inside. This is absolutely idyllic, isn't it? And you can see the quality of the construction, because the doors open and shut, the actual window shutters. So what I love about this is you can make this very ornate. You can make it Regency, you know, with those or very sort of Florentine, sort of think Italy with the shutters. And here again, this is so, I've got to show you all around this because it's been adorned with such beautiful papers as well. If you can see there, filled with the birds of curiosity and the butterflies in the background. Isn't that fantastic? All leaping out. And then at the back as well, you can see there's a light, but I just love this paper that Ally and the team have got here, and the clock at the top. So you can really go to town. We don't just have to think you have a regular window box. And again, I've got a light on this one. She's attached the little the light, so let's just turn this on. I haven't done this one yet, so let's have a little look. Oh, isn't that lovely? I love the little bottle in there. Did you see that? Oh, me shutters. The little bottle in there. Isn't that beautiful? The lighted window. Really, really pretty. Gorgeous. So there is your code for the one of the window, 910409. Next up, we've got the tree stump. Now, this could be Alice in Wonderland. This could be Fairy Glen. This could be a stump full of leprechauns. It's quite exquisite, isn't it? It's big. I mean, these could be snow-capped, couldn't they? Again, you get all the elements, all the pieces, very easy to assemble, quality MDF. And this is what has been created. But again, different to the one we had at the start. If you look at the one I've got at the start, it's full of toadstools and bright flowers and butterflies. This is more, there's a place called the Forbidden Corner in North Yorkshire. And that is inscribed, it's almost like it's a strange place with Victorian kind of follies. And this is what this reminds me of. Isn't that fantastic? It's the Green Man, is it? Yeah, I suppose it is. Yeah, let's take our hearts for a walk in the woods. Listen to the magic and whispers of the old trees. Isn't that great? I love that. So individually, 634397. But do have a look at the one at the start of the show because it's full of toadstools and is equally as beautiful also. Now the MDF bucket, it could be a little bucket, it could be a wishing well, it could be something that you actually, and it does actually turn. So although it's called the bucket, we've got one here that looks like a little wishing well. Isn't that beautiful? Again, so you could actually wind something around that. You could actually keep your yarns in there. And here we've got a kind of a yarn winded all the way around, and then beautiful papers. But you could have that could be like a little wishing well. You could have a little bucket dangling from there, couldn't you? Again, the one at the start, we've got flowers coming up around the side of it. But that is beautiful, isn't it? With it, she's got some glue in there, keeping some bits and bats in there, so it could be actually a tidy as well. 374223999. I love all these projects. They'll keep you busy if you go for the whole set. Massive savings, all still in the one day special. I know, I'm going to carry on. We haven't stopped yet. Our elegant box frame. Now this is perfect, whether you want to actually put a photo in there, because the one thing we have got time for, I don't know about you, but I'm digging through all these old photos and putting them into albums, and some of you just want on display. So we've got our lovely Green Man again, and some textured material there, some lovely gilding wax. You can, I tell you what you can get, I've been told, this Green Man plaster cast that we've just seen on the tree stump and is available today, so we'll get him up, but he's here twice. If you're liking him, he's a plaster cast. There we go. So it's called the Stamps Away Plaster Cast, $9.99. So there's two options. You can choose the faces of the Green Man. So that's the actual Green Man, 363, 363. Or you can just have the faces. So either of those, is it? And you get 10. for £9.99. Faces, that's faces, or if you like the green man, there it is. So that was the lovely, elegant frame. Yeah, so put in there whatever you like, but you've got that depth, you've got that box frame, which I love in a bit of depth there. That could be so many different subjects, couldn't it? We're going to carry on to our last one. This is all in the one-day special. The archway with the picket fence. Yeah, so again, this could be very rustic. This could be your picket fence. This is could be very, you know, your traditional. You could actually, on there, actually, you know, if the cottage name had a house, maybe somebody has just moved house, you know, and you're just thinking of a little gift. Absolutely beautiful. So again, there is in the sort of naked form, as it were, in terms of just constructed, but so many different opportunities. Again, just in your hallway or as a gift, like I said, someone who's moving into a new home, or, you know, that is exactly almost, you know, like your entrance to your garden. So pretty. You could actually put their name on it there, or the name of the house. Now, these are all in the one-day special. That individually is 916733. But don't forget, you're also getting, with the one-day special, which is all of these, that inspirational DVD, which will take you through each of these projects and ideas per project, so you can follow it through step through by through. So do have a little look, shop on the head on the web as well for any of the Stamps Away other products also. Now, I believe we've got, oh, we're just sorted out the Skype so we can talk to Ally Reeve direct. But here, just to get our taste buds flowing and our creativity flowing, here is a demonstration video footage.
Okay, so we're going to start off by having a little look at the box frame, and we're going to use one of the stencils, and we're going to pull in some of the pearl jewel enamels and create a nice effect with that. So I'm going to work with the box frame dismantled to begin with, because I want to put some texture paste on, and I'm just using the old ready mix filler. So I'm going to come through. Now, it's fine to work with it not assembled at this point, because I'm using a wet paste, but I must remember to build it before the paste sets, because then you'll see what I'm talking about in a second. So I'm just going through. This is the nice leaf stencil. Doesn't have to be really neat. I'm just wanting to build up some texture in the background. Now, this isn't a design that tiles, but because of the randomness of it, you can extend it without it looking obvious. So it's nice and random. So just coming in, putting some texture down, and then I'm going to carry that texture on over the edge. So this is what I'm talking about here, where the slots are. Normally I would be going, oh, don't do this while it's unassembled, you need to build first. But with this, the simplicity of how this frame goes together, it's perfect. So I'm just going through. Okay, you get the idea. Now, while the paste is still wet, these are the stand bits. If you push and slide, see how it pushes the paste away? And it means that you can get the texture all round, but you must do that before the paste dries. And it's got a fair good drying time. Okay, and that just slides on. So you do both bits, and that will hold that together. So you have one each side. I only grabbed one so that you could see the idea of making sure that that you move it into place while the paste is still wet. Then voila, you're going to leave that to dry. Once it's dry, you're going to paint it with black gesso, and as if by magic, this one's already been painted. So you see I've put all the 4 bits in. Now, I want to work with the gesso wet. So although I've saved time by pre-painting it, I am going to pretend paint it again, because I need the gesso to be wet, because I want the wet of the gesso to hold my jewel enamels in place. But the reason I've done it all is I wanted the back to be black, but I don't want the jewel enamels to stick to that. So by doing it in these 2 stages, it means that I can apply the jewel enamels to the wet gesso and not get it where I don't want it. Okay, so just going round. You can't do the trick I did with the paste with the jewel enamels, because obviously once they set, they go rock solid. So you do have to build it at this point. So I'm not going to tip on, I'm going to sprinkle. Now there are different colours in the jewel enamels. This is the blue pearl. Now obviously in the pot they look exactly the same colour, but if you tilt them towards the light you'll see a dust on the inside. That's the mica dust, and that's the colour that will come through when you heat it. But as you sprinkled it onto the black, you can see the colour has emerged. Okay, so I'm just going to melt this in. Because I'm going over gesso, it'll take a little bit longer to melt because you've got to dry the gesso as well. But you can see as it starts to melt, the whiteness will go and just that fabulous colour will come through. And so we're only concentrating on the frame part at the moment. So round you go. You might see a little bit of bubbling because you're releasing the moisture from the gesso. Doesn't matter. When it sets, those bubbles disappear. Well, the bubbles don't disappear, but the whiteness of the bubbles disappears. So just going round. Look how rich that colour is. It's because they've got a pearl base to them, but there's 3 different pearls within. And we're going to use all 3. I'm starting with the blue. You'll see this is a natural theme to the project, and we're going to end with the green. So that's the more prominent colour. So just go round. First coat always takes a little bit longer because we're drying that gesso as well. And you'll see it spread a little bit, so you want to make sure it spreads, because otherwise it's not fully melted, it's only the top that's melted. You can see it bubbling a little bit, but it's the richness of the colour. Obviously if you're working on white, because the base of the embossing powder is actually clear and you're only seeing the mica colour, depending what colour is underneath, it will change the colour that you predominantly see. Okay, so just make sure, you can tip it towards the light to make sure you've melted everything, because it's not until it's melted that it will actually hold on to your project. Okay, now I need something to hold the next colour on. I'm going to move the blue pearl to one side so I know which one I've done. I'm just using one of the mica sprays. I think these are still on the website, so you can have a look. This is a pink luster. So now I'm not worrying about if this goes through the gap and into the back. I didn't want the jewel enamels, so I'm just spritzing that. So now I'm going to come on with my red pearl, and I'm going to be a bit more generous with this. And I'm sprinkling like this again so it doesn't go where I don't want it. I've got a little bit more control. Also it means I'm not wasting much by tipping it onto my paper, because obviously my paper's got contaminants on and I don't want to contaminate my pot of powder. Especially when you're working with pearls, you can't see if you've got the wrong colour in the pot. So I tend to do the sprinkle and then not tip back into the pot and make a little mixed bag. Now you can see that pearl coming through. It's almost like a purple colour on top of the black and with the blue as well, so you get this colour mixing. Okay, round we go. See how much quicker this second coat melts, and it doesn't matter that it's on top of the first, you'll just get a different intensity, different tones, different finish. It's all about building up different effects, and how many times I can say the word different in a sentence. So round we go, just making sure you've got all those white bits melting. Almost like petrol on water effect you get, real nice rainbow finish. Round we go. There we go, into the corners there. Just making sure, because we've got that texture underneath, you'll see that you're getting different levels, which means that the light's catching this powder, this melted powder in different angles, which intensifies the effect you get. Just remembering where you sprinkled it. Okay. You don't think there's much there, and then you melt it and there it appears. Right. Just that last little bit there. Did I miss a bit? There, I missed a bit. Don't be afraid to pick it up and have a look. There's nothing worse than you think you've finished and then you spray it and there's powder still there, and that will just blow off. Or okay, I'm now going to use, I've got a fuchsia colour here. This hasn't got a mica in, it's just going to add a little bit of moisture and a faint colour. It hasn't got mica, so it's not going to interfere with that sheen too much. And now I'm going to come in with my green pearl. I'm going to be a little bit more generous with this because I want the green to be the prominent colour. So again, sprinkling it light and direct. If you wanted just the one colour, obviously you don't have to do this sprinkle, you can just tip it on like traditionally. But because I'm mixing the colours and I don't want to contaminate one pot, there we go. Also, it gives me that little bit of control. And there we go. And this is where you get a fantastic effect. Because I'm using the sprays and the gesso and things like that to hold the powder in place, I can go up to my second speed a lot quicker because it's been held on by a wetter substance. So you can actually get things going a bit quicker. And as I'm such an impatient crafter, this is much better for me. But look at the depth of colour you get with this. I'm hoping the cameras in the studios will pick up better than I'm doing on the demo here with the samples that are on the counter. But you just get an amazing... Don't be afraid to mix colours. You know, we mix colours with paint and ink. Don't be afraid to do it with powders as well. Especially embossing powder, because of the way it melts, you just get a totally different look. Due to time, I possibly won't go all the way round here. I just wanted to show you how you can mix these colours together. There's quite a lot of green coming through there. And by doing the green last, that means that's the most prominent colour. So you just get an amazing depth of colour. And then all I was going to do to this, just to finish it off, because I've got that lovely void in the middle, it's got a little bit of colour to it, not too much, because I wanted the frame to stand out. So all I've got is I've got a nice little saying here, which says, "Let's take our hearts for a walk in the woods and listen to the magic whisper of the old trees." And I'm just going to tear that, possibly ink the edges a little bit, and I'll pop that inside. So I just printed that off on my computer. But you could have a photo in the back there. You could have all sorts of things. You could build up a lot of dimension because you've got this gap between the front and the back. You've got that option to have a lot of dimension. So on this one, I put the green man. And again, that's got the green embossing powder on it.
Yeah, absolutely lovely. Now, we can announce that 20% of the one-day special has actually gone. So just to remind ourselves, you are getting all of this. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Yeah, huge £40 saving, because each individual project is a brilliant £9.99, but you are getting all 8 projects, saving £40 plus the brilliant DVD, which in itself is £9.99, and that takes you through step by step each of the projects using the kits in the project collection, so you can see how they're completed by the fantastic techniques to create these wonderful creations. The only one that's missing here is our little picnic bench, so because I've got 7 on display here, but our picnic bench is there at my side. Ally's on the phone. I want to say a very good evening to Ally Reeve. Hello, Ally.
Hello.
Hello, darling. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm really well, and it's so lovely to hear your voice. Tell me about the collection, Ally, because we think it's absolutely amazing.
We wanted to sort of encapsulate a little bit of summer and a little bit of fun. So ones with lots of scope, so you can do lots of different decorating on them, and just, you know, have a little bit of fun. I think, you know, like the little window box is such a cute idea because there's so much you can do inside it as well as on the outside.
Yes.
Lots of creativity and chance to do lots of different things and appeal to lots of different people, I think, was our aim.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that really caught my eye, apart from the fact that you're getting such great value, Ally. It's there are 8 individual projects that could go in so many different directions, judging by all the lovely samples you've sent us. There's a wide variety. Just the house, for instance, you could make that in so many different ways, can't you?
It can be a gingerbread house for Christmas, or it can be a spooky house, or it can just be a little cute cottage. You know, if you've got youngsters, you can put it in, paint it up with something, make it suitable for the garden, and make it a fairy house at the bottom of the garden. It's whatever you want it to be, and that's what it's all about. That's what's great with MDF. It can be whatever you want it to be. It's just a blank canvas to go where you want to.
That's right, and I love the fact that you put the little lights in some of them as well, and you know, some of them could be fairy tale-esque, some of them could be very literal, couldn't they, in terms of that lovely garden gate one as well.
Yeah, I was thinking The Secret Garden with that one, because I loved that book as a child. So again, you can have that at the edge of a kiddie's vegetable patch, you know.
Yes, Peter Rabbit.
So many options, or a photo behind the gate, so you open it up and there's
that's such a good idea.
Photo or something like that.
That's the other thing. You've got all these lovely movable parts in some of them as well, like the shutters and what have you.
Well, this is it. Paul, who does the designing, my husband, he likes to try and incorporate a little bit of something different that makes it just not your normal
static.
You know, but also allowing it so it's easy to put together, because I mean, you know, you can do all sorts of different things, but everybody's got to be able to build it when they get it home. So everything is done in such a way that it's really simple and straightforward.
And you can use so much of what you've got at home, because you've used some beautiful papers, gorgeous texture paste. We've got those fantastic stencils of yours on the show as well, which I've yet to show. Yeah, and look at this birdcage one. You've got a peacock feather there. It's just truly inspirational, Ally.
Well, it's a real peacock feather, and the actual bird inside the cage was a reduced Christmas decoration that just had a bit of gesso and a bit of gilding wax on it. Added some feathers to his tail, and now he's a beautiful peacock.
He is absolutely beautiful, Ally. I'm sorry we couldn't Skype live, but I'm so pleased
we've been working hard on it. We're going to try. We are determined. We will get it done.
Absolutely, because we've still got 8 o'clock and obviously tomorrow as well. So hopefully we'll get any technical issues sorted out. But you've been very kind to send videos anyway. But the great thing is, it includes your fantastic video, doesn't it? Your DVD.
It does, so that even what crafters are like. We buy it, we put it away for a rainy day, and then you'll come to get it out in a month. It's like, yeah, so by putting a DVD in, it's kind of like you're getting a workshop takeaway idea, and it's all different tips and techniques and ways to decorate things. So even though I might do the cottage in a particular style, the techniques I do on it, you could do on the birdcage, you could do on the gate. So we've tried to do it so that everything can be to your taste. You don't have to do it the same way as I do.
That's fantastic. So those skills are transferable. Ally, it's been great to talk to you. Thank you so much.
And to you.
I'll be hopefully speaking with you again at 8 o'clock live. We'll see. If not, we'll get you on the blower again. But thank you so much. And we'll carry on looking at all these lovely projects for you this evening.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye, darling.
Bye.
So Ally and her lovely husband Steve, it was Steve, wasn't it, who's helped with all the designing there as well. Absolutely fantastic. So let's take you through all these amazing projects and then we'll look at some more demonstrations. Remember, you get all of them in the one-day special. So this was the beautiful peacock. I showed a different one as we introduced the owl because Ally sent across such fantastic samples for me. But she said that was an old Christmas decoration. She's got the peacock feathers there and some gilding wax. I'm sure you agree, stunning. whatever little, you might have a little chick from Easter in there. It could be anything, couldn't it? So you get all of the assembled flat pack parts. You get the picture there to assemble. The individual items we'll put at the bottom of the screen, but don't forget, you're getting a massive 50% saving by getting all 8 projects. It's like you're getting 4 for absolutely free, isn't it? And we've split that into 2 flexi-buy payments there of £24 and something or other. Sorry, 766,256. So that's project number 1. You could split this with a friend, couldn't you? You could, because there's something for everybody, whether you want to keep some for yourself, kids involved, as Ali said, a present that you don't, obviously social distancing, you can leave it on the doorstep there and go. But a lovely memento to say thinking of you as well. And this, I've got a different one here now, is the cottage one, because I think you look at this, look at the difference, how different they can be. I love this Hessian, yeah, on the side there. Isn't that gorgeous? And then we've got something a little bit more literal, a little bit more sort of maybe fairy tale cutesy. I mean, it's your idyllic cottages and your little roses, those pretty pastel papers, the little rosebuds, the shutters that do open and close. So remember to do the reverse as well. There's no place like home. Maybe somebody's moved home, or you're just trying to, I don't know, could be a little, like she said, a fairy cottage at the end of the garden. You know, you get those little fairy doors. So you get all the bits. They're all pre-cut. They pop out nice and easy in the quality MDF. All probably laser cut there as well, so that very easy to assemble. And like you get the DVD as well. Project number 2. I'm going to move on to the picnic table, which you didn't see in the collection. My personal favourite. I don't know why. Maybe it's because the weather's so nice at the moment. I just think as a kind of centrepiece for your garden, for the table, you know, for kids' parties, I just think it's so cute. I mean, get the kids involved. This is Barbie size, Cindy size, isn't it? Obviously, all the dollies are available. But this is just painted white. You've got your lovely papers on the top there, a little bit of a fringe. Let's turn on the lights attached. I mean, isn't that? As the evening starts to go a little bit, you know, the sunsets, I think that is so pretty. It could be emulating your picnic bench. Put little picnic things on there. They're beautiful. I think that is so, so pretty. I'll tell you why I love it. I've never seen anybody in MDF design a picnic bench. I think that's why I'm so taken with it. £9.99 on its own, but also included in the whole big one-day special. Now, we had the lovely window frame. So again, I've picked a different one here. We had the little curiosity shop with the little bottles and the butterflies. So we've gone for another one here. And again, if you've got any of the MDF words, or it could be just cut out of a lovely paper script. Isn't that gorgeous? Little bottles in the background. Can you see those? All a lovely rainbow gilding wax there. Just takes it to another more ethereal fairy tale curiosity, doesn't it? Beautiful. Or you could keep it quite literal. There's one here behind me with just a sort of cottage window, yeah, with your flowers. Isn't that very pretty? And could put, again, you know, whatever the name of the family is, home sweet home, just different ideas. They can be so different. Again, included in the one-day special, individually at the bottom of the screen. I've popped in my toadstool, well, it's not mine, Sally's, toadstool, because I wanted to show you this one as well, because we looked at the other one with the green man. But this is, you could have little rabbits, little bunnies bouncing about, soft crab, you've got the butterflies, and look at these toadstools, they're just adorable. Fir cones there. I mean, let your imagination run wild. You could actually have a little fairy door there if you wanted to paint it on. But this is your tree stump. Isn't that beautiful? It could be, do you know what you could put on there? Little photo faces, the family tree. Literally, of your family, yeah. They could create little branches, but, you know, around it, adorned around it, you could have the family tree. So that is your tree stump. And again, our bucket, or as for some reason, I keep thinking like a wishing well. And it actually twists. You know how Ali said, you know, Steve her husband helps design to make them movable parts. So they're not just static. So they've got an interest, so they've got a curiosity. So there's something else going on there. So this actually twists, which is why I was thinking wishing well, you could have a bucket. But here, look at this. It could be a functional thing as well, where you actually store things. Isn't that beautiful? You could use your foam flowers there. These are actually paper, but again, butterflies made out of old textbooks. If I show you the reverse there, I love that idea, just layering them up. But isn't that pretty? Just like a wooden bucket. Beautiful. Again, individually at the bottom of the screen, but all included in the one-day special. Box frame now as well. Don't forget, if you love those green man faces that I've got here, they're $9.99. You get 10 faces or green man faces. Check out on the web on the Stamps Away website, on our website. So again, this is the one Ali showed you right at the end of that demonstration. And we've got that jewel, what was it? The jewel jewel enamels as well on the show. So do have a look on the Stamps. You can shop by brand, you see Stamps Away. But deep in the, for any quote you want to have, you could put an actual literal photo in there. But isn't that beautiful? That deep set window to a, well, it's not a window, is it? It's a frame. And last but not least, the archway that Ali was just talking about as well. And I've picked another one here just to show you the difference. Yeah, but isn't that beautiful? You could put a picture, she said, behind there, a photo, a little surprise that you don't expect to see when you open it. Isn't that gorgeous? So all of these, £49.91, 2 flexi-buy payments of £24.96. Already a quarter of the stock has gone. Do shop ahead, because if you like that stamp that Ali used in the last demonstration, we have got all 4 available on our website as well, or when you call up. I'm sure we'll get the details for that up for you. But we want to go back and have another look at some more demonstrations with Ali.
So we're going to have a little look at doing a paint effect on the tree stump now. So the tree stump's nice because you've got these little layers, so you can make a little diorama up, you can add some butterflies, woodland creatures, maybe a squirrel or 2. So the actual tree stump is 2 layers. You've got the main back one, and then this to give it that fake dimension idea. And at the top here you've got the classic stumpy bit. So you glue the front panel to it. Now you can, if you want to, do all the paint effects and then glue this in a minute, but you don't need to, because you want to see where this bit goes. But the other trick is to draw around it so you can see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the brown bark going first. Okay. Now these, I would actually, it depends what you're wanting to add into there. You might want to put black in there and hide a little owl in there, or, you know, all sorts of different things you can do. So I'm just going on with this, getting into the nooks and crannies. Again, avoid your tabs at the bottom here. I tend to paint this before I put the grass on, just so that I can get in behind it. If you do accidentally go onto that, you can just give it a little sand. Okay, so just around there. While the glue's still drying, you can sort of move that about if you need for ease. Okay, so at the moment it's very, very flat. Okay, so to get the faux bark effect, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my sponge over. Actually, I'm going to give myself a clean sponge. Okay, and while this paint is still wet, I'm going to take a little bit of the black, starting at the edge so that you're adding shade, and do sort of rough squiggles so you're not having straight lines. If you pick up too much paint, you can just dab it off, but always working while the brown is wet so that you've got a chance to blend that in, and it's not just going to be black lines, but always remembering to do some squiggles. Okay, and add some squiggles down there as well. It's quite funny saying squiggles, because a little girl I used to teach, that's how she used to say squirrels. So you can see, you can quite quickly get a nice little bit of dimension going on there. So you're adding a bit more shading there, and you're getting the texture as well. And if you find you've done too much, you can come in and add a bit more brown in, just lightly, give it a little bit more light. So you can just keep building that up till you're happy. We're going to do a similar thing to get the faux rings at the top, but we're going to, with the brown sponge, we're going to pick up some white gesso. So we're going to create shading, and by squeezing so that the brown's coming out at different speeds, you go round so that you're creating sort of a lined effect. Okay, I would add those bits in a paintbrush in a minute. Okay, then again we're going to add some little darker lines, but working in a circular way so that we're getting the rings. Just the other thing to use is an old paintbrush that's gone a bit stiff, just so that you're getting that illusion of the lines around there. I haven't got a paintbrush, I'll use my finger. You can come in and just fill in those little bits if you want. There you go, just to give it that. And then if you really want to emphasize it and make it quite cartoony at the top, you can actually come in with a fine liner at the end, but it's not, doesn't take long for you to get quite a nice trunky look, and you can just carry on playing around where you want a little bit more shade. As it dries, especially as you're using gesso, you might find that the colors soften, so you can come in, add some more squiggles and some more texture, but it doesn't take long to get quite a nice barky effect.
That's a great technique, wasn't it, to achieve that bark effect on the tree stump. Really good. I love that. Cut up the old sponge. Now, Ally was using the acrylic glue, and you do get 3 of these. They're 50 millilitre pots, water-based acrylic glue, and $11.99. So perfect for adhering your MDF together if you want it to be a permanent fix there. 09227811199. I mentioned the stencils, so let's bring those to your attention, because in the first demonstration, Ally used those with texture paste, that leaf one in the back there. So you are getting all 4. So you've got this beautiful large leaf, that pretty flower and the leaf there, more of a repetition pattern. You see that work well in sort of the windows, doesn't it? And that's gorgeous as well, that pretty vine. So you are getting 9 of those stencils and masks, brand new today, $9.99, $947,999. So you're getting all 8 of the MDF projects, 2 flexi-buy payments. You're getting 50% off. It's like you're buying 4 and getting 4 absolutely as a bonus, because individually they're $9.99. So times that by 8, you're looking at £79.92. But you are getting it for just under £40, aren't you? So we've got another demonstration from Ally. You get all of these to keep you busy. £49.91. Well, it's not quite 50% off, but you get £40 savings. So it's almost as good as there when you work it out. £49.91 should be $89.91, but lots of projects there to get your teeth into. Lots of ways in which, as Ally explained, you can use your imagination, and you are getting the bonus DVD, you see. The DVD on itself is $9.99, so you're getting the DVD in there as well, which will give you inspiration if you try a few to start and then you think, oh, I just don't know what to do with this. Ally's got the DVD in there to get you started. A quarter of the stock of the one-day special has gone. This is only the first part of the first live hour. So if you're looking for something to get your teeth into, or maybe split it with a friend, maybe you've got some favourites, then this will be perfect for you. I think we're going to look for a bit of inspiration now. What do we do with the MDF bucket project? You can get them individually, but the savings in the whole one-day special. Let's have a look with Ally.
Right, we're going to have a look at making a bucket now. So there's one I did, and it's covered with paper, and also we're going to do the little string wrapped handle. So I find with the paper, if you've got a nice design that's going all the way round, like I have here, this is one off Janie's Pictorial Compendium number 2. So I want the pattern to continue round. So we'll do that bit first, and then we'll look at doing the handle. Now, if it's a home printed paper, the chances are you'll have a white edge to it. So just get in the habit of trimming that off so that you don't end up with white where you don't want it. Don't need to worry about the top white edge because I know the length of the piece, but if you didn't know what you're putting it on, just get in the habit of cutting those all off. And I've got a second sort of, not identical paper, but on a similar theme. So I'm just going to cut that. I just thought the florals around the bottom, because it's a nice landscape, should go round the bucket really nicely. Okay. And because this is going to, the way the bucket's constructed, I can put the papers on first and then decorate and then put the bucket together. Sometimes you might just need to draw around the pieces and then put it together, then cut them out and stick them on. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue. And with things like this, when you're working with paper and MDF, sometimes it's best to let the glue dry before you do any cutting and things like that, because you might find that the paper will snag a little bit. Obviously I don't have that luxury at the moment, so I'm just going to go around, and you should get 4 pieces across an A4 landscape, which is half the bucket. Perfectly calculated. Okay, so 4 along there, and then 4 on this one. So just, you might, if you're worried about you cutting out and things like that, if you white gesso your MDF first, it means that if you do accidentally slip or snag, it doesn't show. But because I'm doing it this way, notice I am leaving a little gap between, so although I could butt it straight up, that makes it difficult for me to cut out, and the design will still have the illusion of going all the way round, just with a little gap in between, so it still works. Okay, so all 4 of those, and then we just take your scissors and then cut, using the MDF to guide you round. Now if you're not confident with this, you can then take a piece of sandpaper and give yourself a nice flush edge. And then, so that I don't lose the order, I'm actually going to start adding these to the bucket as I go along. So a bit of glue on. Okay, and you have to do the top and bottom as you're going. So I've already glued the handle in place, and it just means I'm having to hold less things. So I'm just going to use something to support that a second, just while I cut the next one out. You could cut them out and put a number on the back so that it will just help you put them together without having to think too much. So we're going that way round. Okay, so just come in, and then you can get your hand in the top of the bucket, which helps guide you in to the slots. A bit of patience and giving your glue a chance to dry is less troublesome, but obviously speed is of the essence for me. And don't do what I just did on that one, which was put glue around the edge as if I was sticking paper on. Didn't need the glue there. I just need the glue here. So do as I say, not as I do. Bring it in. Just, you can see it starts to come together quite quickly. And once the glue's got its grab, it will be nice and firm. It's like having an extra pair of hands then. Last one on this side. And then we will need to let this dry before we string wrap the handle, so I'll do that in a few minutes. But once you've got this all papered, you can obviously ink your edges. There's all sorts of different things. You can add some paper flowers to it, whatever. So you can see already the bucket is kind of starting to take shape, and you've got that pattern following round. So the other side, and because it's a nice bold shape, it's easy to do the cutting out. Another trick, if you're finding, like I was there, I was struggling to hold things while the glue grabbed. If you do that and leave it while you cut the next one out, what will happen is the air will get to the glue and it will start the drying process, which means that it will grab even quicker. So it's kind of like having an extra pair of hands. If you're really impatient, you can give it a little blast with your heat gun just till you see it start to go matte rather than shiny. And it just means that the drying process has started and it will hold it quicker for you. It's a trick I use quite a lot, especially if you're not the most patient person, which I'm not. It's just a good little trick. And I'm putting them down in the order that I'm going to put them onto the bucket. It's kind of, it's a way of giving you an extra hand, because when you're trying to hold 8 pieces in place, it's not the easiest. And by putting them in order, I know which one's been out long enough, because you can see now that one's a little bit easier to move around because the glue started to grab. So guide it in. The ones by the handle is slightly harder to line up because you can't get your fingers in as easily because the handle's in the way. But if you do those as the first one, as you do in the side, it means you've got the gaps. So you can get your fingers over the top, lining up top and bottom. And I'm not having to worry because I've laid them out in order. Round you go. And this is a really nice size bucket, so you could use it as a pen pot or as a little gift basket.
Yeah, and it's a great size bucket, and this is the said bucket here. I know Ali was having ideas as well. If you didn't want to see any of the MDF, you could actually white gesso it first to begin with. But isn't that great how easy it assembles, and you can maximise using as much of your papers as she was laying them out there on the sheet there brilliantly, and it does actually move. Honestly, I keep thinking wishing wells, but you can actually use that for your storage as well. So beautiful. One of the one-day specials. You can buy that individually, but as you know, the saving is in having all 8 of these fantastic projects plus your DVD as well. The only one that's missing out of this set is the little picnic bench. So this is all the projects. If you want further inspiration there on each of these MDF projects, 8 in total, you're saving £40, and we've got that on 2 flexi-buy payments of £24.96. 766256, and 30% of the entire one-day special has already gone. So yeah, so this was the first one. This was the peacock, and this actually, she said, was as a decoration that was left hanging about. But so you could have a little chicken there, you could have a little budgerigar, you could have it could be anything. Could be sort of, who was the one that put them in a cage? Was it Hansel and Gretel? I don't know, it could be futuristic, could be anything really, could be literal. This is the picnic bench, yeah, which has attached to it a little light, which is lovely. So this is the project number 8 out of all of these that you get. So you could split this with a friend. I think that's so pretty. You could put a little light on there, you could make it literal, lollipops, it could be, you could put little cupcakes on there, you know, like a little centerpiece. You could have the brolly down, I suppose. I mean, we've got our brolly up, but I suppose you could create it so that you could have the brolly down. We've got your window boxes. You see, look how different either these are. So here it is like a little curiosity, and again with a light on, but here it is literally with flowers. So again, use your imagination, as Ali said. So many different versatile ways in which you can have your window box. That could be literally with butterflies behind it, or here you've got like a little curiosity with bottles inside and butterflies. So pretty, isn't it? It could be actually your little window. So very, very literal indeed. And again, look how different our birdie is there with the gilding wax again, just to give you further inspiration. And our houses, here's one with the Hessian here, but again, I've got one here, so different and very, very pretty. Could be like fairy-like. You could have the paper state, you could have the material, weathered, and even around the back, you know, don't forget, it's all there to be decorated with your stencils. I think that might be using one of the stencils that we've got on the show today. So beautiful. So that was the house. We've mentioned the bench. Then you've got your toadstool. You've got your garden gate. You've got your frame, your deep set frame. So 8 projects in total to really keep you busy. And the DVD to take you through it step by step. You can split this with a friend. You're saving £40. The projects individually are £9.99. Over 30% of the stock has already gone. We're up to 30% gone, so please don't miss out. I know it's fun, it's using your imagination, it's using the materials you've got at home, because you're getting that blank canvas to really let your imagination, easy to construct, get your glue if you want that permanent structure there to be fixed, and it all comes flat packed, so absolutely brilliant. Enjoy, enjoy. We'll be seeing more of Ally's demonstrations at 8 o'clock, different demonstrations as well to get those creative juices flowing with your ideas for these fantastic MDF projects, but they're 2 FlexiBuy members of £24.96, 766 256. So enjoy, and I'm looking forward to speaking to Ally again at 8 o'clock. Don't forget to check out your baskets. Plenty more still to see on